Hello, guys. Welcome back to Sweet and Sour Soccer, and this is the big one. This is the oldest international derby on the planet. I think it's one of the oldest games in football, period, and that only means one thing: England versus Scotland. These games don't come around often, and normally it's a friendly or some bullshit qualifier that no, I don't watch, and I don't think many people care really. But this is England, it's Scotland, it's the Euros. Big guys, drop a like on the video, please, if you don't mind, and hit that sub button if you haven't already. This is going to be international football for us until the Euros ends, and then we're going to focus on the Premier League again. Scott, are you nervous after what we saw the other night, both with England's performance and Scotland's against the Czech Republic?
Do you know what? I'm really not nervous at all, which kind of...
Yeah.
It's one of them, isn't it, though? You kind of... I don't know whether it's a negative England fan thinking of the past in my head. I'm kind of thinking, the fact that I'm not nervous, is it going to be that typical Iceland situation? Or is it going to be more like the World Cup run? I mean, as you said, both games, Scotland look terribly unconvincing. That's the team really that they should have beaten. Obviously, they're going to look to beat us, but that's the team that if realistically they were going to get points on the board to get them through to the knockout stages, they needed to at least achieve the draw there. And England, I felt we controlled the game against Croatia. Obviously, we said in our match reaction, the stats made it look a much more even game than it actually was. And I don't think that was biased. I really don't. I think we controlled the game well. They didn't look like scoring against us. And I think that was everyone's biggest concern, not our attack, our defence. So I'm confident going into this. I really am.
So am I. For the first time in a long time when it comes to a tournament, whether it was the World Cup or the Euros in 2016, obviously we got knocked out to Iceland. We had another home nations team in our group in Wales, which we beat, and then before that you go into the 2014 World Cup, which was awful. Germany, we lost to Italy in 2012. You go to the Scotland game against the Czech Republic, and like I said, I just don't feel any pressure. I really don't. It's an odd one because you look at the team that played in that game, especially the midfield. Andy Robertson, world-class player. Armstrong, good Premier League player. Scott McTominay, he's at United. McGinn, they've got some good players.
Yeah.
But then you go to other areas of the field. Dykes up front, I think he plays in the Championship. I want to say Forest or QPR or someone like that. Someone will correct me. And a guy called Christie, who I'd never heard of, I'll be honest, who plays for Celtic, who's actually a midfielder. He's not even a striker. So they have got players, but my God, they just didn't play as a team.
Well, that's it, isn't it? And obviously, Shay Adams could be one that comes into the starting lineup. But we shouldn't be fearing Shay Adams. Let's be honest. I mean, if we're scared of a name like that, then we're not going to push on far in the Euros, are we?
Absolutely.
I genuinely think there's a difference here, and I keep on hearing about this rubbish, and it is absolute rubbish argument, but Scotland have waited, 25 years for this. They're going to be more up for this England game, blah, 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 blah. You know what, maybe 6-7 years ago, I would have agreed with you if someone had said that to me. I'm not agreeing now, and I think the reason that England fans are so excited is that not only the quality on the pitch, but I feel for once we have a group of players that don't care about the club allegiance. All they care about when they step on the pitch for England is playing for England. And they do it with such pride. And I think that's why there's been a bit of a switch. That's why I feel like we're feeling more confident. And I think that's why people are getting more behind England as well, especially after, going back to the last Euros, I think everyone was pretty much done with England at that point because you just saw no heart, no passion. You're seeing passion. You're seeing England players not fear anymore.
Yeah.
Even when we had the likes of Lampard, Gerrard, Beckham, Owen, etc., they always played these tournaments with fear. There just seems to be no fear at all from these lads, which for me is why I've got such confidence.
I agree. You go back to Gareth Bale's comment in 2016 at the Euros when we beat them in the groups, and obviously they went on to have a better tournament. There's no denying. But he made a comment of, yes, the England team has better players than us, but they don't care about the badge. They don't have the fight and the desire. They're not patriotic like we are. I mean, we shut him up the game after, but you definitely cannot. There's no fan, no player, no anyone on this planet that can say these boys do not care. You saw that with the celebration for Sterling's goal, and just after the game, we saw a celebration from Gareth Southgate at full time that we haven't seen really since we beat Colombia. And obviously that was a knockout game, winning on penalties. That was big. This was just a group stage win, but Gareth was so excited and so animated about it. One thing I want to mention about this as well is, well, actually, two things. One, the lineup for the next game. Um, we know that Croatia have always been an attacking side. They have, whether it was 10 years ago when they beat us, I think they beat us at Euro 2008, which obviously meant we couldn't qualify. Even before that, they haven't had the best players, but Croatia are an attacking team. They do like to get on the ball. They do like to make things happen. That's not going to work. It's not going to be the same against Scotland. It's going to be a low block, a lot of players behind the ball trying to hit us with some pace, with Robertson and a few other players that they may have. Shea Adams, if he was able to play, or maybe he can, I'm not sure. Do you go for a change in personnel on this game? Do you maybe, because I said, I know we've had to, I know Phillips has had the game of his life. You can't drop Rice. Do we need a Bellingham in there, someone that can play those passes? I know it sounds stupid because Phillips got a great assist, but we don't see a lot of that from him in the Premier League. I think even Leeds fans would agree on the ball Bellingham's a better player. Do we have to change our lineup because it's a completely different game?
Yeah, I think we said, didn't we, on our match reaction, Phillips was our man of the match. But
Oh,
we
quite a
also
long way.
said, we also said you've got to play the game based on each match, really, haven't you? You've got to take it match by
Yeah,
match. And I do worry if you've got that Phillips Rice combo, is that going to be a bit too defensive? Maybe bringing in, as you said, a Bellingham. A Bellingham's going to, he's a bit more attacking minded, isn't he? He's going to add that extra person in the attack. The other question will be the wing backs. Again, I'm not really against the Trippier Walker debate in this game because I've said I think when they're not really attacking us, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think there is anything wrong with that. But there is the counter argument that is this a game where we can use someone like Chilwell? We know he likes to get forward. You've
yeah,
obviously
yeah.
got Reece James on the other side, who's a really good attacking right back. Could they both come into the frame as well? I think they're going to be the positions that you're perhaps going to be questioning. Of course, a
Yeah,
lot of people are saying maybe start Grealish over Sterling, which I'm not sure would be a bad shout because Sterling is
yeah.
great, as you say, when well, not as you said on this one, but when you're hitting them on the counter, he's got that pace. Maybe having someone like Grealish who's bit more
Like
got
the
the
ball.
tricks, hasn't he? He's got the tricks. He's probably got better delivery. Is someone
Yeah.
like that really going to be probably a better addition to the team in this game?
I wouldn't be against that. Again, we're talking about two players that one got man of the match and an assist, and one scored the winner. So, you know, in any other circumstances, you'd be saying, how can you drop the man of the match and your goal scorer? But when you look into it, and you do, if we are going to make changes, I'm not against a Shaw or a Chilwell starting. I'm not against a Reece James starting, to be honest. But I just feel someone like a Grealish who can get on the ball and make things happen in those tight areas. I don't think Sterling's really got that about his game. We're not going to have a lot of space at our disposal in their final third. It is going to be very tiki-taka, Barcelona, Arsenal, that kind of football, I think. And it sounds crazy. We have the players to play that type of football now, so we've got to utilise it. Sterling was very good for large parts, not large parts, but for a lot of the game against Croatia. He was good, but it's a completely different game. And I think the lineup for this game will send the feelers out as to what Gareth's frame of mind is moving forward. Is he just going to play what he thinks is the best team every game, or will he adapt? So if we do get a France, will he change? I think if he plays the same 11 in this game, I don't think we're going to see any changes really at all, otherwise, unless it's an injury or maybe Maguire slots in. If it's the same 11, I predict it to be the same 11 throughout.
Yeah, you're probably right on that. Maybe the occasional change. I completely agree. I think this could be very telling. Obviously, he might, look to secure the 6 points here and then make changes in the last one because he feels he
Maybe.
can,
Yep.
because we've beaten Croatia, who are probably going to be the ones challenging us for that second place if we do get the win against Scotland. So it's an interesting one, isn't it? That I want to throw a bit of a curveball out there as well. I wouldn't be against dropping Harry Kane for this game. I really wouldn't. And I wouldn't be against starting Calvert-Lewin ahead of Harry Kane. Now, I think
Really.
a lot of people will be like, what, are you mad? But I think we're going to have to rely on a lot of crosses in this game. I really do at times. As you said, they're going to probably have 10 men behind the ball, or if not the full team. So, we are going to have balls being delivered into the area. And Calvert-Lewin's got that jump. He's got that heading ability. Harry Kane really frustrated me in the last game, and I know you were the exact same. If Harry Kane does start, what we can't see is him keep coming 20 yards up the pitch to get the ball, especially in the Scotland game. He needs to stay as a proper striker. He needs to not end up into almost an attacking mid-role where he's coming searching for the ball. Let the talented midfield do that business. And Harry Kane just needs to stay up there as that target man or that man further up the pitch that can make something happen.
Maybe a change like a Bellingham coming in, or someone of that ilk that could swing it. Maybe if we have got Royce, which I think would be enough against Scotland. Scotland are a poor team. Let's be honest. I know they had 58% possession against Czech Republic, but you lost 2-0. We haven't got to fear them. If you can hear the thunder and lightning in the background, I do apologise. I'm hoping my mic isn't good enough to pick that up. But we can't be fearing Scotland. We can't. We didn't fear Croatia, so why would we revert and fear Scotland? And I'll go one further. If we aren't beating these 3 or 4-0, let's not just talk about Gareth's got to get a victory here. We've got to send a message out to say, listen, we are beating last tournament's World Cup finalists, and we're beating our rivals 3-1, 4-1, 4-0. We're coming for you. We are a serious team in this tournament. Let's send a message now so that when teams do get us in the knockout stages, maybe they've got to change their game plan to play England. Why have we always got to be the one changing for them? Let's play our game, and then they see us as a threat. But I think going back to the original point on Kane, if we do play someone like a Rice and then a Mount and a Bellingham in front, Kane doesn't have to drop.
No.
I don't know about dropping him though, mate. He's not dropping Trippier. He's not willing to drop Trippier when we've got two very good left backs. He is not dropping Kane. And the other thing is, if he said to Harry Kane, I'm going to go with DCL or maybe a false nine like Foden tucks in and we've got Sancho, Sterling on the right wide wings or something. Kane's going to go, what are you talking about, Gareth? I'm going for the golden boot. It's just not going to happen.
No, I could see that, but at the moment, from what I've seen of him in that first game, he isn't going to get anywhere near that golden boot, is he? But I think this is why it's a massive game, isn't it? Because we know England fans can turn quickly, and I completely agree with your point. We should go out, we should get that 3-0, we should make a statement, and what we can't do is be caught out by their 1-2 good players and end up losing 1-0. Because even if we make it through, then I think people's attitudes are just going to turn. It's just going to be, this whole buzz that's around this team can quickly just go in one result. Scotland are going to be up for it, but I'm going to throw out my score prediction to finish. I'm going to go for a 3-1. I think they will score, but I think we're going to win 3-1. I really do.
I was going to go for 2-0. I'm hoping that we smash the back end out of them. I just don't see many changes. I really don't. I saw someone mention the other day, I think it was yesterday actually, where does Harry Maguire come into this situation? And it was an ex-pundit, I don't know who it was, Heskey or Genus or someone like that. And they said if Harry Maguire hasn't featured by the end of the group stages, don't bring him in. And I've got to agree, because when you get to the knockout stages, It's shit or get off the pot, isn't it, kind of thing. So if Harry Maguire doesn't play against Scotland, maybe even a half or 30 minutes, if he doesn't play a full game against the Czech Republic, I've got to say I stick with Mings.
Same goes with Henderson.
I think the same goes with Henderson. I think Henderson would be able to slot in a little bit more because our defence isn't the best. I think having a 90 or 80% midfielder fit is much more comforting than having an 80% fit defender, especially a centre back, in my opinion, because when you're in midfield, you've got help from your wide players, you've got help from the attack, you've got help from the defence. When you're the last line of defence before the keeper, I think they have to be at their best.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I see that point. Well, we both think England are going to get the win.
Yes,
we're
let us know.
Confident, which is nice to see, and hopefully, especially with it being my birthday, we will get the win. Otherwise, my birthday will be ruined. So no pressure on England there. So.
And I'll be. It kicks off at 2 a.m. for me. Imagine if we drop an L. I'll be fucking fuming. I wouldn't watch the rest of the tournament if we lost to Scotland. I wouldn't. I just wouldn't watch it. I go, here we go again, England. Same old bastards.
Is it time for my typical outro?
It's time for your outro.
Yep, so if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. Even if you're not new here, hit that like button. And hopefully we shall see you on the next one.
It's like I'm in a straitjacket. This is what England will do to me if we lose in a straitjacket in the mental home. See you guys.